What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea, and we're back again for week 2 of Big Brother. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about, guys. A lot of shit went down since we last spoke. But before we dive in, Pat, how have you been? What's been up with you? Looking good.
Thanks, man. You look great as well, and Uncle Shane
Yeah.
looking great as ever. So the boys are looking good, feeling good. You know, it was great. It's been great so far.
Uncle Shane back on the East Coast for a little bit. How have you been? What's been going on with you?
I'm traveling because I don't know why not. I'm traveling because I have stuff to do in the Hamptons, so that's why I'm here.
Very nice.
And yeah, so I'm excited. Although the weather's a little shitty, got to be honest. The Hamptons is a beautiful place, but it's a little shitty right now. So
Listen, hopefully
you're
that
not
turns
missing.
around.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
that's hopefully that turns around though. But let's just jump right into this. Once we left off, we were talking about, what Angela was going to complete with her HOH reign. And I said, you know what? I think she's probably going to try to backdoor Matt. But I did not see that fight coming, guys. Jesus, what a shit show. Am I right? Pat, what do you think about this fight?
I mean, just the most insane. Just a classic, a classic spiral, week one spiral. Now, I do think that Matt got a very favorable edit. I don't think he was as liked as the show made it out to be. And I think we could see that a little bit throughout the week. I don't know. But Angela, what a crazy move. I mean, just like stewing upstairs, the last time we talked, we did think it was like a pretty odd move for Matt to basically threaten the HOH. He did. I don't think it was like an aggressive thing. I do think, I mean, Angela, I have no clue what she's did. Like, that was so unnecessary. She could have easily maneuvered this move without doing that, blowing up her own alliance, just making everyone be like, okay, I can't trust Angela, and also just like going at like calling him crazy eyes. It's like he does have crazy eyes, but like, come on, like what are we doing? It was fun to see somebody with power just stew in like the shot of her in bed, just being like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that, and then coming down with the fun watch, crazy move, fun watch. But oh my god, I was just glued to the TV, being like, what the fuck is happening?
It was like Christmas morning for me. Like it's like you get a gift and then wait, oh, there's another gift. And then they're like, wait, there's a gift behind that gift. I get 3 gifts. It was like it just kept unfolding. But Pat's right. It's like when she was falling apart upstairs, laying in bed, and it was as if she was like, I know I'm old and I'm not cool with these kids, so they have to be hosing me. So I'm going to show that I'm one step ahead of them. And then when she blew up when she was like, oh, and your performance last night was like a movie. And then she was like trying to be clever. She's like, a bad movie or something like that. And it was so stupid. She just, again, I want to remind everybody, this woman is 2 years younger than me. So it kills me. And she's like, she is, she just fell apart. And when she was doing like the crazy eyes thing, it was, I didn't want it to end because I also love when I'm somewhere and a socially awkward moment happens that doesn't involve me and I can just watch it unfold. I just love it. That's the most entertaining thing. And I was cringing through this whole thing and it just kept going on and watching everybody's reaction to it. Pat, the one thing that you did say was that you didn't think he got a favorable edit. I'm kind of curious as I know that like most of the house wasn't behind him, but I felt like most of the house felt bad for him. And like they all kind of were like, he didn't deserve that, you know?
No, yeah, I don't think. I think he. Everybody in that moment was like, "This is so unnecessary. Don't There's no need for Angela to like blow up at you like that. There was no need. I mean, great for us, great for us.
Right.
Terrible if I'm in an alliance with her because I'm like, there's no way. But I do think Matt, like just seeing him interact with other people, and especially when he left, I think he was playing it up a little bit, and I thought that was a strategy. Like, oh, look at me, I'm the victim. But I just don't think it translated well. I don't know why he was just like, well, my mom's gonna watch this, and I was like, dude, this woman is just making fun of your eyes. What are you talking? Like, relax. I don't know. For some reason, I don't think he deserved it. I don't. I think that was a stupid move on Angela. But I think a lot of these people aren't really great game players. They're great socially, but like for some reason, Matt, I don't think he deserved it, but I don't think he was as liked as it came off. Because when you're on the block and you're making a giant alliance, you should be doing that way before. It seems like a desperate, like he's not socially clocking that, hey, I'm clearly going to get backdoored here. He should have been doing that at the beginning of the week, not when he's on the block. And the fact that Kenny, by the way, was going to be like, oh, it's okay if I leave. I hate that. I hate that move so much. It's like, what are you doing here then? I don't know. There's a lot to get into, but
yeah, just to touch before we end on the fight. I just loved Big Brother editing, the people watching her come down the stairs, and they're all clapping, getting like they think it's a fun thing, and then it just transitions into her reaming into Matt.
Yeah, what'd you think of the fight? Like,
fight was crazy. The fight was crazy, and I think there's no way you can trust Angela. And I bet Quinn is regretting the decision to tell Angela about the upgrade. But
100%.
in the next couple episodes, you see like the people that are sane that are in that group with Angela create a separate group without Angela, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so it does happen. Angela does go through and puts Matt on the block, and he is ultimately evicted. Chemo was able to win, the live night competition. What do you guys think of this? This is the first time we've ever seen this, the live night competition. You had a minute and 30 seconds it was kind of tough to follow. But Chemo winning. Big for him, right? Big for him.
Yeah. Like, cause I didn't think he was a competitor at all. And he beat two guys that looked like they could easily beat him. So, good for him. You know what? I didn't feel much for him in the first couple of episodes. I felt like the last two episodes, I sort of like him more. But I like the two girls. Like obviously I picked the blonde and I can't think of her name.
Leah.
I picked Leah, and then there's Matt's sort of girlfriend, who's the attractive one.
Mackenzie. Yep.
Yeah, they're on the outs clearly. So I'm kind of bummed to see that because I'd like to see them go farther. But chemo or whatever the hell his name is. I mean, what a horrible, it's like the worst. It's the worst ailment somebody could get, the worst situation. It's the only sort of potential cure and it just destroys you, and your fucking name is chemo. Right? It's terrible. Sorry, I had a couple glasses of wine, guys. Anyway,
tough name.
Let's move off of chemo.
Tough name, but he's able to win, get himself off. And then Pat, you alluded to it. Kenny looked like he was about to fall on the sword there for a little bit. Matt, and he keeps preaching Boston strong. I'm not liking that from Kenny.
I mean, that's what the first few weeks, everybody has to stick to their stereotype very hard. I mean, Kenny's just like, Boston strong. It was like, you were literally about to give up everything for a guy you met 2 days ago. What are you talking about? You are not Boston. Like that. And I get and again, Angela picking fights with Kenny, again, not a good move on Angela to be like, I mean, I agree. I was like, it's kind of insane that he's saying that. But again, another blow up with Angela. And I called it. I was like, I don't think that's a good move on Quinn to tell her that. I get it, but I would be shitting my pants if I was Quinn, because again, with his new alliance, he's not going to say anything. And if it comes down to it, Angela is going to throw that information at his alliance or to the house, and it's going to put him in a really shit position. So not a great move over. But yeah, Kenny falling on the sword for some guy he just met, ridiculous. Angela is a psychopath, and yeah, but I was also happy that Chemo won because I was like, I think he's probably a good player. He seemed to get put up there for literally no reason. So,
yeah.
Do you think America? I mean, I don't like follow like message boards or do any of that stuff. Or follow like, but a Big Brother all week long. But it was clear that stuff was coming onto my feed that's like everybody hates Angela. Like the world, the Big Brother world hates Angela. So my question is, do you think if Kenny took a shot at her, because he was like, he gave her a little bit, but then like kind of backed off. Do you think if he like kind of ripped into her, people would love Kenny? Like America would love Kenny?
I think
I
they
think
would because she's just so hated. And I think it would be good. I mean, I know Kenny doesn't know that there's powers that are influenced by America's vote. But if he were aware of that, I feel like maybe, I don't know. He's not, he doesn't strike me as like a Big Brother fan, but
yeah.
it does give you incentive to rip into the people that maybe you think America does not like.
Yeah.
I'm also just waiting for like the threshold of these people. Like what will cause that? Because I feel like everybody is kind of walking on eggshells. I was surprised Matt didn't really go in and be like, what the hell are you talking about? Because I feel, and I do think a part of it is because it's so early, you don't want to have a huge blow up fight. But for Matt to just take that
Yeah.
and then cry about it, I'm like, you could easily just be like, what are you talking about? You could,
Yeah, let's go point by point over our conversation.
100%. And the only person that dealt with that conversation is you and her. You could easily just be like, I never said any of that. But he didn't have the like wherewithal to be like, oh, I can just lie because apparently these people like me. They'll probably because if she's blowing up, I could just pin this on her, making it be like she's been coming after me since day one. She's trying to put a target on my back. She's blowing up whatever your guys' alliance is. It's like if like you have to clock these things in the game, and I just don't think he was. And so he wasn't a great player. I don't think he deserved that. But if you're like a real gamer, you have to be thinking of this constantly because when stuff like that happens, that's a golden arrow for you. You can use that right back at her.
Yeah.
Do you think it was an oversight on some of the house guests to not keep Matt in the game, knowing that he was basically going to go after Angela no matter what? Like, do you think it was an oversight for him to be voted out by basically, almost everybody except for 3 people?
I think so. I think because the viewer in me wants Matt to stay because that's entertainment because they're gonna keep going. And I kind of weird. I didn't want Angela to have the satisfaction. I mean, I got him. Ow.
Yeah.
I'm a
which she does,
man.
which she does, which is so great. Yeah.
And but I don't think like the way Matt handled everything. I was like, I really don't see like him doing anything because he kind of balled up and cried the entire time. And
But he would have had, what I'm saying is he would have had way more fight than Kenny will.
100%. And as soon as Kenny was like, if it's me or you, I'll, do that. I was like, no, get him out of here then. Like
Kenny's not our savior. He's got
no.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I have a great life, blah, blah, blah. That's not what this is a competition show.
You're everybody else that auditioned. Everybody else that auditioned and wanted this opportunity are like, fuck you, Kenny. How about
get Kenny out, put me in there. I'll rip into Angela.
Yeah. So I do think it was an oversight on some of some of these bigger men like Cam. I'm looking at Tucker. Like, you want to keep these big physical shield. Like, he is an overpowering shield to some of these guys. And I think in a couple rounds it might come back to bite them. But it is what it is.
And I think it's also like everybody's saying that Matt is a physical threat and physical threat, physical threat. All the competitions so far have not been even remotely physical. So
Right.
if I'm a house guest, I see this blow up, I see two people that are just gonna gun for each other. That buys me 2 weeks. What am I like? Why is nobody considering that? Especially if everybody's like, "Oh, well, you can't keep a player like Matt on." There are no. There are no. We've been playing shuffleboard and answering questions. There is no physicality so far. Yeah, the one competition you got to hang on a rope for 45 minutes. Yeah, he might beat me a little bit, but
No,
even
and that
that,
guy's all muscle, so he's gonna drop. It's gonna
yeah,
be to do with the mustache. The perv with the mustache is gonna.
yeah. I'm like, guys, what do we like? These people are clearly hate each other. Let them fight it out. That buys more time for all of us. I don't know. I was also thinking that, Duke. I was surprised that they went. Nobody even considered that.
Yeah. Um, Before we get into this next HOH and who wins, I wanted to talk about Lisa. First of all, shout out to Lisa for winning the veto, getting herself off. But I want to talk about Lisa's decision to lie about her vote for voting out Matt and trying to say that she was in the majority. And immediately everybody thinks that she's lying. What did you guys think of that move?
Well, even worse than that move is the little sunglasses on the edge of her nose, like that drop with the braid.
Bree
Me
hates
nuts.
that shit. Bree, every time that happens, she's like, I cannot stand her just because of that.
Right. Yeah, not it's an interesting look. I love that nobody buys it, but then I love that like you see nobody buying it, and then it cuts to her being like, I think everybody's buying it.
Yeah,
Right? It's my
she's
favorite.
like, checkmate.
Yeah, I think it's terrible.
Yeah, everybody called it out, and as soon as she was like clearly lying about it, and was not even doing it even remotely convincing job of that. And then what's her name? Who was she
Chelsea.
talking? Chelsea was like, I don't buy this for a second. Then it cuts back to Lisa, like, I mean, this is Big Brother. I'm killing it.
Yeah. And I love that Tucker, like the only time we've heard him talk on the show is shitty stuff about Lisa. Like it's the only like this like the editor is just like, okay, do we have any Tucker footage? And it's like, well, yeah, we got him trashing Lisa. All right, throw it in.
Yeah. Which also that edit of Lee, I was like, I would 100%. I am on Tucker's side completely. To be working out in the kitchen, wild move. That would like I'd be like, get her out. Get her out.
I would say that was one. I had that in my notes. One of the highlights of that episode was Tucker's pure hatred for Lisa. I loved when she was trying to put the glitter in his spaghetti. Like, what are we? Why? What the hell?
And then what about like I don't understand the scene. She's in the what is like the supply room, and she's talking to the camera like, "Can I get some matcha and a bikini?" Like what like you order bikinis? Like
Yeah.
and please don't get the bikini.
Yeah, it was. She just seems like the worst person to be, and because they have that commonality of being chefs, she's just like, okay, we're together now because you and I do something similar. And he's like, no,
Yeah.
get away. She's like, we're gonna have a cook-off, but we're gonna be the guest chefs. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, nobody
away
wants
from
to do your shit. How about that? And he like knows it. By the way, I love that she keeps making food for everybody and nobody's eating it, and it's like
Yeah.
wasting ingredients left and right.
He said
100%.
he said something about like grilled shrimp being 3 days old that she was making. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my.
Yeah, that was really funny from Tucker. I wish he would be better at the game, but that was
Yeah.
at least a funny thing. So we get this HOH comp, and it's basically funny videos of animals, and kind of recall, what happens. And Chelsea wins. Chelsea wins the HOH, and we see the formation of a new alliance, but kind of similar alliance called the Pentagon, which is, Brooklyn, Chelsea, Cam, Quinn, and what's the other guys? Cedric, right? So this, I think, is probably going to be the alliance that's going to run a majority of the game. So what do you guys think of the formation of the Pentagon?
I agree with you in the sense that I think it's going to run the game. I just don't find anybody in the alliance that interesting. So like it's kind of a snooze for me. So I'm hoping that some personalities and there's some like infighting to entertain me, but I don't care about them.
Yeah, I think it's a stupid name. There's 5 Pentagon. Come on, guys. Come on. I mean, that
You
is the
wanted
most
more?
brutal.
You wanted a
Oh,
little more.
Did you
A little
prefer
more
BB
flair.
gun? Did you prefer
Dude,
BB gun?
I don't know what it is. Sometimes, like, the biggest problem with Big Brother is these alliance names. Because people think about it before they walk in, and they think it's gonna hit. And it like the barbershop, the BB guns, the Pentagon. I was like, these suck.
What was
But
the barber like? Why did they come up with barbershop? Because they're cutting people loose?
yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
like
this,
it didn't even register. Like it doesn't.
yeah. And they're like, and I was like, yeah, well, you're doing this 2 days before the eviction. So
That did
good
not
luck.
last.
Yeah, no. And I loved also to go back to that. I think it was Leah's like, is the alliance still a thing? I was like, no, it's not a thing. No one voted to keep them. Because it wasn't gonna work. You can't
She's
do
like,
that.
but I'm gonna show them that I'm loyal. It's like, honey, it's gone.
It's
Like
gone.
that
The
ship
guy
has
you
sailed.
wanted, gone. It's over. Start over. Fuck. But yeah, the Pentagon, I do think that is going to be the alliance that probably runs the game. I think it's a smart mix of people. I think Chelsea, you want HOH. I think she's really smart. I think she's going to be a good player. I mean, Quinn's my guy. He seems to have a little bit more of a grasp on the game. Cedric seems to just be doing whatever Chelsea does. I guess he kind of doesn't really bring anything. And I think the same.
He likes to talk with his hands a lot. I've noticed he's very animated he's always doing.
He's animated, and he's also like he just says things that are obvious. He goes, "Yeah, this is an alliance with 5 people." It's like, okay, what else? He goes, "This week might be hard," and it's like, okay, you just keep saying shit that very general stuff.
Right now, I'm in the diary room.
We're like, okay, yeah, Cedric, and
this guy's a great narrator.
Great narrator. I don't know about game player, but and then Cam, I haven't seen enough of. I mean, he seems to be laying low, but I think Chelsea and Quinn are probably the smartest out of these people, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to see how an alliance does without going too much into it. When everything starts, you're like, okay, we'll see. But I do think I agree with you. I think this probably will be the core.
They have their first meeting and they're talking about, discussing the nominations. And we kind of understood that Lisa was probably going to be on the block just because of like everybody just doesn't like her. Kenny seemed easy. And then it seemed like the main discussion was about whether to put Angela on the block or, Mackenzie or Leah, people that were left out of the vote last round. And I thought it was really interesting, Mackenzie telling Chelsea about her power. Do you guys think that this saved Mackenzie from being an initial nominee?
I think Angela was gonna be going up anyway. I do think it was a smart move on Mackenzie's part, just to not only build a little bit of trust with Chelsea, and but I also think it also does strike a little bit of fear in her. It's like, okay, well, if I do put her up, she does automatically have a veto, and then America votes on whoever they want. So, I mean, I don't know if the house guests have a temperature of who they think they'd put up. Probably be Angela. But if they don't, that's a huge risk on their point. It could be any one of their alliance members. It could be. So I do think that was a smart move. It kind of bought her a week at least. I don't think they'll put her up as a replacement, unless they're trying to backdoor her.
Which I was kind of confused because last week they were alluding to Mackenzie potentially using the veto on Matt after he was nominated, renommed. So they were saying that that might be what happened. So I'm thinking she probably won't be nominated if that's the case. Like you can use your power after you get renominated.
Yeah. So, and I think that's a smart play on her point, because if that is the case, that buys her time. She has an automatic week of safety no matter what. So for them, it's probably not smart. And it's too early to uh, put her up. And I don't know if she told her how long the power lasts, but if I were her, I'd be like, yeah, I can use this at any time. So, maybe throw that in there. We'll be like, I got safety no matter what. So don't waste your time with me.
Mm.
Now, the other question I have is during this whole conversation between the Pentagon, we see that Quinn is still keeping his power to himself, besides having told Angela. But do you think it's interesting that a person like Mackenzie, who's not in the alliance, that, is trusting the HOH, whereas Quinn is still keeping that close to his vest?
Quinn doesn't need to use, like, he doesn't need to tell anybody. He's in no danger. So why would you,
My only concern is if he doesn't tell his alliance about the power and Angela kind of leaks that, then he kind of looks like a little shady guy.
Yeah. I do.
That was the shadiest thing I've ever heard, is the way you said that.
Little shady guy.
I don't think people would care. I don't think that they would care, because I think that they would think that they would do the same. Like why even bring it up? I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's probably nothing, but he could be a little shady guy, maybe.
He could be a little shady guy.
A little shady guy.
You know what? Dude, could I just jump into one of the things, the opening animation, like where they have them all do their little dance, right? Don't they all they used to have something that was like either part of what their job was, like if they were a cop, they'd like pull up a gun, or if they were like a fireman, they'd be like hosing down a building. It was always so stupid, right? But a lot of them just kind of do this. I noticed. Pat, give it to me. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of crossed arms. I think like the producer was probably like, hey, listen, everybody's doing the crossed arms thing here. Could you come up with something else? And then finally, like when nobody did, they're like, all right, everybody just does the cross arms. It's way more than normal. Yeah. Except the one girl who does this, like, like the wacky chick at the end.
Pat, what would yours be? Like, do the turnaround.
Wait, turn around first and then hit us with it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Please don't ever do that again.
The producer be like, no.
On a family podcast.
You're done.
That's a shady guy. That's a shady guy.
That's a little shady guy.
All right. Well, on that note, we let's get to the end here. We are have the final nominees. Angela is obviously the one that is nominated. And yeah, that is basically all that I think I have for this. Do we think there's a backdoor in place for, I guess, not Mackenzie, but maybe Leah, if one of these people come off? Like, what do we think would happen if the veto is used? Do you think the replacement nominee has to be Leah?
Why wouldn't it be Mackenzie? Why wouldn't it be Mackenzie? Oh, because she told her about the. Oh, yeah.
I guess maybe not even Leah, because they know that they would use the power.
Take Leah off. Yeah.
So that would be interesting. Maybe we're rooting for a veto to be won here.
Yeah.
Or
just Angela to go home. Are you guys done with Angela?
No. Because I want to punch her in the face, but like, and I don't really mean that. So for your viewers, I don't want to ever hit a woman. But
I'm gonna cut that out.
No, here's my question. Oh, yeah, cut that out. Which I know you won't do, and then I'll get weird people reaching out. When Leah walks into the back room and Mackenzie's there, and like she's not crying and Mackenzie's not crying, and they see each other, and then they both sort of cry, like they make it look like they're crying, and then when the camera comes in close, you realize, I don't think they were really crying. Like they wanted each other to know
Yeah.
that they were crying over Matt, but then they weren't really crying.
Yeah.
It was just
They got
an
o-
act.
They got over it quick.
Yeah.
Pat, do
I
you
don't
think
know,
there's
I didn't have a point. I just thought that was an interesting thing to say.
Pat, do you think that Matt and Mackenzie are going to be a thing after the show?
No, I don't.
Because
I don't. Because they've known each other for a week.
I think Matt and Kenny, the way things are going.
Oh my God. Kenny's like, this is my son. It's like, what is happening?
No. I saw a little girl in your entrance video jumping into a pool who would like her father to play like
To
a
be,
next
yeah.
topic. You bitch.
She
Yeah,
wants
dude.
to go to college, Kenny. Please,
Yeah.
for the love of God.
If
Your
I'm
head-
Kenny's
doesn't want-
family, I'm like, what are you doing? Oh my God. That, yeah. I also thought it was funny. They're like, Mackenzie and Lee are like, we're going to do this for you, Matt. And they're like, yeah, he had to go. He had to go. Yeah. I'm just trying to separate. Yeah. Because what?
Yeah.
Like, how big of a connection have you made?
This place isn't good enough for him, for Matt. It's like what you say when a pet passes away.
Yeah.
Right?
Guys, week 1, let's hold it together a little bit. My God.
Well,
Yeah.
what were you going to say, Pat?
I thought there was I'd be interested to see who wins the veto and who they would put up. I think this was the right 3 to put up, but I'm very interested to see if one of them does win the veto. I'm excited to see that possibility.
Pat,
Yeah.
I've got one request for the next podcast. If you could do a performance of Angela calling out Matt with the crazy eyes. She kept doing the crazy eye thing. If you could do a full performance, I'd be really
I'll do a whole good on you guys. Not a bad movie. It's a bad movie.
When she hit him with a knot, man, they were like, wait, what year is this?
Everyone was like, what is happening? It's a joke. That was
All right, guys. Well, that's basically it for week 2. I'm excited to see what happens this week. And yeah, let's close it out, I guess.